Well, this morning I've got some congratulations that I want to send out, and that's to Josh. He's closing on his dealer's license today, and Josh has stayed in touch with us, and I'm excited for him. I know he's going to do well. He's been very persistent at keeping up with this channel, and hopefully he's got some information from this channel. And so congratulations to you, Josh. Then I want to congratulate Javon, who is a new wholesaler with us. You know, I don't get to see a lot of our wholesalers. I hear from them an awful lot and know that they're doing well, but I very seldom get to see the gleam and the glow in the eyes of a wholesaler. And I got that privilege yesterday from Javon. He's actually in Kentucky, but he did come to our local Mannheim auction here in Nashville, and he was like so many other people that I meet that sign up in the wholesale program. He was going to sign up and not necessarily go out and buy a vehicle right away, but I had told him when I actually carried him to the auction. I got the privilege of spending some time with him, and I actually carried him to the auction to get his access card and things of that nature. And I forewarned him. I says, if you can hold back from buying a car at your first auction, you will amaze me. I've never seen anybody that didn't do it yet. They get so excited and get caught up in the auction that's going that they just can't help buying a car. And so he did come in yesterday with a 2000 Ford Explorer with 158,000 miles on it, I think. Just a clean little car, really good car. It was such an it's hard to explain, but I like cars personally that are not traditional, and this car was just a two-door. It was a 5-speed manual transmission, and so he only paid $700 for it with low miles, but it's very clean. And I think he's going to do well on his very first flip. I probably see him in about $1,000 profit or close to it when he sells the car. I know if it were mine, it would make me $1,000, or it would make me a good driver. So I'm always excited to see people glow when they get their first purchase, and they realize that you know, it's hard for them to lose. Javon's in the trucking business, and actually transports automobiles for dealers. Is what sparked his interest in becoming a dealer, because he's moving automobiles around for dealers. And so he decided to delve into the auction access, and he did, and I'm glad that he did. But when he told me his overhead, man, it was just unbelievable. His insurance alone was, you know, $2,400 a month, and a new truck that he's got that he has to have, because he has to have a dependable vehicle to transport these vehicles. And I didn't ask and didn't meddle, but I'm sure it's got a very expensive payment attached to it, along with the insurance. And so every day when I meet somebody like Javon, I am so lucky that I'm in the business that I'm in, because people talk about, well, what kind of risk do you take? My risks are small compared to somebody like Javon, who's only 23 out, and you know, just hearing about the overhead that he had. You know, with us and you, if you're in this program, your overhead is minimal. You really have to be an absolutely lazy, no good ass not to be able to pay your bills when your overhead, let me say this, not your bills, but your overhead in this business. I mean, it's $400 a month. That includes your rent, that includes your insurance, that includes your bond. I mean, when you can start a business for less than $1,000, and it's all on you. That's amazing. So congratulations, Javon. I'm sorry for carrying that rant on, and his congratulations, but I was excited to meet him. And then next I want to congratulate myself because I got a renewed motivation yesterday in our website, the Easy Auto DLR website, and it's something that has been so dear to me for so many years now, and I had really got complacent with it because I was so used to people calling up and asking questions, and I was really nonchalant whether they wanted to go in the program or they don't. And I still am that to a degree, that if you want to join the program, I'm thrilled and I'll do everything to help you. But if you don't, it's no sweat off my back. I mean, I make a good living. I know my living's out. I don't do this bring people into the program. I don't get on here for money. As a matter of fact, my YouTube check this month will be about $200, and I'm on this thing just countless hours a day. I invest at least probably 30 minutes to an hour a day into this YouTube and posting. So money is not the motivation here. Money is not the motivation for me helping you get into auction access. Seeing people change their life, like Javon yesterday is changing their life, and like Josh is changing his life, and having the courage to move on with something. And now that's going to bring me back to another comment that I want to address in this video. Excuse me. I got a message from a comment from Kyle yesterday, and I want to go over it a little bit. And Kyle had been told by someone that Mannheim made you move your cars to the state that your license was in. In other words, if you were in New York, you could only transport your cars to New York. I did mention this to Josh, and I'll mention it here. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I want you to understand, excuse me again, that Mannheim is not a regulatory service. They don't care what you do with your cars. They're a for-profit business. And the more dealers that Mannheim has, now their business model is set up to cater to dealers only primarily, but Mannheim even has public auto auctions occasionally. And so the public can attend, and they are limited. They don't have the access that the dealers have the access. But Mannheim has even changed their business model, because you, the public now, you're the market. And so, yes, they're going to keep their business model because they have grown a great business from catering to dealers only. And dealers only have unlimited access to any lane, unlimited access to any car. So there's tremendous benefits. But anyway, Mannheim does not care where your cars are transported to. They're not in the transportation business. They're not an enforcement agency for any state, nor does any state care where the car is transported to. The state's interested in collecting their taxes. That's their only interest. And years ago, they really opened up a lot, become more flexible, because times are changing. All these state rules, a lot of state rules were created. For instance, Alabama was not even a title state until the early 70s. You didn't have to have a title to a car in Alabama to sell it. So, you know, within the last 30 years, maybe 40 years, states have changed their laws considerably. And yes, they've gotten stricter, but there's still a lot of gray area in there. And so that goes to the point of no Josh, no anybody, or not Josh, but Kyle, that no, they don't care where you transport your cars to, where you sell. They don't care what you do with the cars. You know, Mannheim has a policy, our Mannheim here, and I'm assuming that most Mannheims have the same policy. You have 5 days to pay for your car. If you are the principal dealer, if you are the principal dealer with wholesalers like we have, we want our cars paid for the day you buy them. We don't want to run the risk, and I'm sure you can understand that we want the cars paid for when you buy them, even though Mannheim gives us 5 days, but that's really 5 days to collect from you to get those cars paid for. So that's our privilege. Wholesalers do not have that privilege. We're going to ask you to pay for your cars the day that you buy them. But you have 15 days storage. So if you buy your car and you pay for your car, you've got free storage there at most Mannheims for up to 15 days. Now, after that 15th day, they start charging $10 a day. So you're not running around rushing because you went to buy a car. Yes, we want the car paid for, but if you don't have a driver that day or you don't have transport for that day, you've got free storage for 15 days. So it's no big deal on that. There was one other thing, but I guess that's going to come to another video because I'm at 11 minutes now. And so I would appreciate it if you like, if you share this channel to anyone that you know that wants to make some extra money. And they can be extra money, it can be their primary source of living. It's a great business and I'm proud to be part of it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.